Hi, this is Gustav, the developer of TubiTube. Welcome to our channel. I want to start thanking to all the users that are joining to our live transmission and want to learn a little more about animation. So thank you so much for joining. Please just let me know if you are getting my signal, that you can hear me and watch my screen. Please confirm so we can start today's workshop. Perfect. Now that I can confirm that you are there, let's start with today's workshop. So in the past activity, we learned how to create animations using just 2 frames. Today we are going to go a little further, and we are going to animate dots. I'm going to try to do 2 or 3 exercises depending on how fast we can go, and basically the kind of things we are going to do today is something like this. This is a previous exercise I made for you. It's a bone symbol, but basically it's a dot. Please let me know if you can watch my screen, and you can. And right now you are watching the bone symbol. In the meantime, I want to say hi to J Desanimado, to Biz Matam, to Malben Daniel Silva, to Emmanuel Jason, and to OJ Gamers. Thank you so much for joining the transmission. Okay, perfect. So how many frames are going to use for this exercise? Around 22. Just remember, we are using TubiTube app for this exercise, but for the second exercise I'm going to switch to TubiTube Desk, and we are going to do a little example in that tool. So for this first exercise, we are going to set the FPS parameter to 12. This is important to get a nice result. So remember, we are going to use 22 frames more or less, and an FPS value of 12. So let's start. Let's start a new project. So before animating, it's very important to plan what you want to do. I wonder how so many kids start animating the first frame, but they don't have any idea what they are expecting of the animation. So my first advice for today is always visualize the result you want before starting animating. So for this exercise, first of all, I'm going to draw the path, just to give you an idea of what I have in mind. It's just the path. I will remove it. Zoom. So more or less, this is what I want to animate. Oh, excuse me. This is the path I want for my animation. The dot I'm going to animate is going to go through this road and disappear from the right side of the screen. Okay, this is what I have in mind. Now, before continuing with the exercise, I recommend you to watch a special video I made a long time ago, but that is very useful to understand the logic of movement in animation. So I'm going to copy that link in the description of this video, but also I'm going to paste it on the chat. So please save the link and watch it after the workshop, please. It has very interesting information, useful information for you, so don't forget to watch it. Okay, let's get back to the exercise. Okay, now that we know the trajectory of the dot I wanted to animate, I'm going to remove the path. I'm going to pick the colors for my animation. For this animation, for the background, I want to use some kind of magenta. I'm not going to use border color. And for the fill color, I'm going to use maybe white. I could try white. Let's see how it goes. Let me check how it looks. My ball in white. Oh, perfect. It looks perfect. So I'm going to start animating the ball. So the first thing I'm going to do is to create the keyframes of the animation, so I can have a reference of the path in terms of the position of the ball. So let me show you how I do it. So in the first frame, of course, I'm going to use an ellipse. So in the first frames, I'm going to add the ball, the dot, in the first position of the animation. In the second, I'm going to add an advanced position of the dot. Will be more or less here. I'm going to squash it a little, because this is the point where the ball hits the floor. All these missing frames I will add it later. First, I want to add the keyframes, the key positions of my animation. So I'm going to advance to the third, and I'm going to add the ball more or less here. Then I'm going to add a new frame, and I'm going to set the position of the ball hitting the floor again, once again, more or less here. And then I'm going to add a new frame, and I'm going to add the ball more or less here. So now I have the keyframes of my animations. Now I know more or less the main positions where the ball is going to go through. So now all what I have to do is to add the in-between frames. Oh, hello, PC's Gaming. You are very welcome to this session. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot. So, continuing with the exercise, it's time to add some in-between frames. So, I'm going to go to the first frame, and I'm going to insert a new frame. So I need to go to the frames tools and insert a forward frame. So I click in the first option, and now I have inserted a new frame between the first and the second one. So what I need to do there is to add the dot in the middle of this segment. And I will have to do the same for the other segments, so let's keep doing it. Now I need to insert a new frame right here. More or less. It's a question of practice. The first time maybe you are not going to get the result you are wanting, but practicing, making the same exercise once and again and again and again, you will start developing the skills required to master the movement of things in animation. So let's keep going, and let's add another frame. This time I'm going to put it more or less here, and let's add another frame. Oh, I already added. Give me a second, I need to fix something in my computer. Just a second. Perfect. Okay. So let's add another dot, and I think I can add another more frame right here. So now let's see. Now we have created 10 frames. So let's see how it looks our animation right now. As you can see, it's not done. There are a lot of frames missing. So now what I have to do is to insert all the missing points to finish the animation. So let's do that. To create a really interesting realistic animation, it's important to understand the concepts of acceleration and deceleration. So please watch the tupitive I posted in the chat. You will see that there is a link in the chat. Don't forget to watch it after this workshop. It will give you a lot of interesting information. So when a ball is bouncing, there is an interesting behavior it has when it is going to hit the floor, wherein it's bouncing away. So let's try to simulate that behavior. So when the ball is falling, let's say that it starts to accelerate. So the effect we will have to simulate is acceleration. So let's see if I can do it in the right way. As you may notice, I will be adding new frames all the time to fill the gap between positions of the ball. When the ball hits the floor, there is a little effect you can create using one of the 12 principles of animation. Today I'm not going to focus on that, so I'm not going to explain that part, but we will do it in future workshops, so don't worry about it. Only that you have to understand is that when the ball hits the ground, it deforms a little. as in the real life, in fact. So let's insert a few more frames and let's check how it's going. Let's see how it's going the first part of the animation. As you can notice, the first part starts to look as real. Of course, the rest of the animation is incomplete, so I'm going to focus on that part right now. Let me check what happened to the music. Okay, sorry, I can't work without music. It's relaxing, and as an artist, I guess you want to be relaxed to work. Okay, let's get back and check. Okay, let's add another dot right here. I think I added an extra frame, of course. So let me include some more frames. Let's check how it's going. Okay, I'm back. Let's see how it's going, the animation. I hope you can recognize the advance, how the animation is going to change as I add new frames. I want to say hi to Landed. Thank you for joining the workshop. Yes, Malben, you can start working on this exercise, of course. Okay, let's keep working. Okay, this is not necessarily the latest, the final version of the exercise, but you will notice that there is a big difference between this version and the first one when I started to work on it. The more you watch it, your animation, you will be able to detect that frames when you need to fix something. But this is a very basic exercise in the sense that you have to animate one dot, just one dot. But the challenge is to achieve a very fluid movement. So that must be your goal, to have that dot doing a beautiful movement. I want you to know if you understood this exercise and if you have any question about it. So please let me know in the chat. I will be watching. Okay. Maybe I can add a frame here. Let's do it. And let's play it again. You can create exercise of this type using different kind of paths. For this exercise, I made a bouncing ball, but you can create other kind of trajectories. Anything goes, so you can decide it. The important thing is that you do a lot of exercise. The more you do, the better you will get in your skills animation, in your animation skills. Okay. Finally, if you want me to watch your exercise, don't forget that you can post them in our social network, tupitube.com. So feel free to sign up and join us. Anytime someone posts an animation exercise, I would like to watch it, and if I have any comment to add it, I will, because I love to advise and to follow your process, your learning process. Okay, so feel free. Also, I'm posting some of your works in the Instagram account of Tupitube, so you are very welcome to join us and follow us in Instagram if you wish. So everyone is invited if you want to check some nice beautiful animation exercise made by me and by some of you. Okay, well, let's focus on the second exercise. Oh, remember, you always can share your animations using Tupitube app. You can post it either on our Tupitube platform, or you can share it to your friends using other social media as WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Okay, so let's work on a second exercise, but this time I'm going to use Tupitube Desk. I'm going to follow more or less the same rules, but the only that is going to change is the application. This time is Tupitube Desk, so let's do it. I'm going to set my project to use an FPS value of 12. That's going to be my speed. And this time I'm going to try a different path for my animation. I'm going to try to simulate some kind of spaceship, UFO device, something like that. So my trajectory is going to be this. I'm going to do something like this, more or less. Oh, this time I'm going to use the vector static background mode to have my path visible all the time. So let's try it. I'm going to use red color for the path. 5 is okay. and I'm going to use the polyline tool to create this. So more or less this is going to be the trajectory of my UFO spaceship. Anyway, it's going to be a dot, so that's what I'm going to animate. Oh, hello Emmanuel, Jason, Jada, thank you for joining the workshop. I'm going to use the nodes tool to fix a little the path, to make it more soft, if you wish. Just a little. Okay, I'm drawing this in the vector static background mode, so this path will be available in all the frames of my animation, so I can use it as a reference to add my spaceship, my dot. Okay, now I'm going to move to the frames mode back. I'm going to start adding my dot, which is an ellipse, through all this road that I already traced. So let's pick the colors of my animation. For this time I'm going to use blue. For my background I'm going to use some kind of blue, light blue. I like this one. And for my dot I'm going to use some kind of green. Sorry. For my fill, for the fill of my spaceship, I'm going to use some kind of green, a green that I like it. So let's try it. And for the contour, I'm not going to use contours, so I'm going to pick the transparent value, and that's it. I'm ready to start animating. So I'm going to create, and my first frame I'm going to put my dot right here. As I already have the path defined, it will be easier for me to start animating directly without defining the keyframes at the beginning. So I'm going to try to do it creating one frame after the previous one. So let's see how it goes. I'm going to create the illusion that the spaceship decelerate a little and then it accelerate. That's gonna be the effect I want to try this time. So let's do it. So at the spaceship is coming fast, I'm going to start adding the dot a little far from the previous one. And then I start to make the dot closer to the previous one. So in that way I generated the illusion of deceleration. Let's keep animating. Then I have to start increasing the distance between the dots, so I start generating the illusion of acceleration. So let's see how it goes at fast. Oh, can you see that? Please let me know in the chat if you can see the preview of the current status of my animation. Emmanuel, the current version of TupiTube Desk is 0.2.16. You can download it. You can download it from myferesta.com or from tupitube.com. So feel free to download it. Remember that all our software it's free. It's for free. So now what I'm going to do is to remove the path I added previously, so the animation is going to look a lot better. So I have to switch to the vector static background mode, and with the selection tool I just have to pick the path and remove it, and that's it. Now for this animation I only needed 14 frames using an FPS value of 12, and now let's look how it looks. For some reason I think that I lose my audio. Please, can you tell me if you can hear me? You still can hear me? I'm not sure if I'm still connected, for example. Let's see if the connection is still there. Oh yes, it seems we are back. Okay. Now that our animation it's ready, let's see that I already finish it. Now it's time to teach you how to post it on tupitube.com. So how to do it? From the player tab you will be able to click on the post button. The application is going to ask you to save the project. I will call my project UFO just to give it a name, and the system is going to ask me for a username and a password. To get that user and password you will have to sign up on our website, so please go to tupitube.com and you just have to sign up. In the website you will find the form. You just have to fill in some data and you will get your user and your password. Once you have it, all you have to do is to fill this form and accept. Then you will be able to select the scenes you want to export and how many times you want to export your scene. My scene currently only lasts 1 second and 17.17. Let me fix the sound a little. Okay. So as my animation lasts 1.17 seconds, I will need to export it several times to have some more time of animation. So let's export it, let's say 3 times. With this operation I will get an animation of more or less 3 seconds, which is okay. Then all I have to do is to post. I can put any title to my animation and hashtags and a description as in any other social media. So I will call it my UFO and I'm going to post it. This animation in some minutes will appear on my 2p2 profile. So let's give it some seconds while the system processes the request, and I want to show you how it looks. So please just give me a second as I show you the result, okay? The post doesn't occur immediately, but it takes a couple of minutes, but your animation will appear in your profile. Okay, while this happens, I will want to know if you have further questions about the two exercises we made today. So please let me know in the chat if you have any question about it. Okay, this time there wasn't so many people. There weren't so many people, but it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, I will leave this workshop available from the 2p2 channel in YouTube, so people will be able to watch it later. Let me check if the animation is already available. Yes, it is. It seems it is. Okay, I'm not going to make additional exercise because we have been online good enough time, and I don't want to create workshops so long, because I don't want you to get bored with all this information. I don't want you to get bored. Okay, let's see my profile. Well, it seems it will take a little more, but in some point the animation exercise, oh, here it is. There it is. Look at. Now the exercise is available from my profile, and I can share it to another social media, as you can see here, and you can like it, comment it, any kind of usual features of any social media. Okay, I think this is good enough for today. Tomorrow I will do this workshop once again, but this time in Spanish for our Latin American community members. So if you speak Spanish, you are welcome to join in tomorrow exactly at the same time. I'm going to watch the chat for the last time, and if there is any additional question, I will try to answer it. If not, this is all for now. I hope that you enjoyed this session and that you learned a lot. Thank you to Emmanuel to be there talking and asking stuff, and I hope to see you in our next workshop. That's all for now, and as usual, it's time to say goodbye. Keep animating, and see you in the next video.